The physical laws of acoustics follow principles that are obviously grounded in our physical reality. For instance, when talking about sound waves traveling through the air, we need to take into account the composition of the air, its temperature, its density, etc. And since music is an acoustic art, it follows the laws of physics. But what happens when a composer decides to bend these rules? One such composer was Alexander Scriabin. He was born in Russia in 1872 and died in 1915. In the later part of his life, he went on a quest to translate his spiritual beliefs through his musical works. He adhered to a doctrine called Theosophy, whose core principle is that any human being can transcend his physical limitations through wisdom and meditation. The culmination of this doctrine is to reach an understanding of the pleroma. The pleroma is the all-encompassing knowledge behind everything that exists in our physical reality and beyond. This is where Scriabin devised a clever compositional device that he called the chord of the pleroma, or more commonly known today as the Mystic Chord. Let's take a moment and step back into reality. According to the laws of acoustics, when you strike a note, say on a piano, the sound we hear starts off as a basic pitch called the fundamental. This basic pitch quickly sets off a chain reaction of reverberations. The sound goes from the string itself to the body of the instrument, through the air and inside our ears. These reverberations generate some weaker secondary pitches called harmonics. Let's play a low C on a piano as the fundamental pitch. Here are roughly the harmonics above it, which are more easily perceived by the human ear. If we replace these four harmonics with the Mystic Chord, here's what we get. The C keeps the chord grounded to the fundamental pitch, and the thinnest of the perceived harmonics, the E, is equally maintained. What was once a G above the C is now an F sharp, and what was a C below the E is now a B flat. This alteration of pitches creates two pairs of notes called tritones. Because of its relatively harsh sound, the tritone is traditionally associated with death. The two added pitches above the E create what are called perfect fourths. Melodies in the Middle Ages, which favored extensive use of the perfect fourth, were deemed heavenly. Did Scriabin really think of all this when he created his chord? Probably not. But the justifications I brought up do have some relevance in that a larger musical structure can be broken down in smaller elements in order to reveal hidden secrets behind the way it sounds to us. Like this video if you found it interesting, and click on subscribe to show your support for this channel. This has been only one example of a composer who manipulated the traditional structure of music in order to serve his expressive needs. Many other composers have had their own take on this idea, but each one of those will be the topic of other videos to come. So, until then, when you open your ears, you open your mind. See you later.